Episode 3 coming in hot this week for you guys. It is your host, Gary. I'm here with Big Willie.
Hey.
And luckily for us, back from Canada, the Ben.
Hi, I'm back.
Dude, I thought you were going to hit us with the, what's a Canadian accent? Like,
how's she going, eh?
There we go. 1 week and you completely changed.
Nah, he just reverted back to living in Michigan, man.
That's true. That's true.
You might as well be Canadian when you live there.
I started talking through my nose a little more.
Oh, God.
Get all nasally.
Yeah. Jesus.
It just comes naturally up there. Actually, my normal volume was too loud up there. Everyone is so quiet. You go into a bar, sports bar, and it's just silent as the grave. Period. It was really...
That sounds like a place that I don't belong.
Yeah. It was a different experience out there.
I'm not very good at that.
Everyone's real polite, right?
You know, I would say polite is one way to put it, because they don't. I mean, no one's gonna say, "Hey, excuse me, I need you to move out of my way" or anything. But there's some staring going on. There's some, and again, maybe it was the volume that brought the stares. But yeah, I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure what I saw out there from people.
Were you wearing shoes?
For the most part, actually, yeah. If you saw the amount of needles that were on that ground, you would. I just go ahead and pick up that barefoot thing and protect my feet.
Yeah, smart.
I stand for something, but yeah, it's just there's
a line though.
I can't dodge all those needles, dude. I actually got hit in the shoe with a needle cap because somebody in front of me just threw it behind him, hit me in the shoe, and I'm like, that's a needle cap, and then he just leans over into a wall and starts shooting up. as my wife and I are walking by to our class.
It's a different world, man.
Another day of that.
I know.
It's a different world.
Well, kids, the number one fit for life rule to staying healthy and living long is don't do drugs that involve needles.
Yep.
When you go to Vancouver, stay off of Hastings and out of Chinatown. You'll be just fine.
There we go. All right. Well, I think that, health lesson will lead us into a couple questions that we're going to have lined up today for everybody. Everybody. Are y'all stuffy? Y'all sound a little stuffy.
I'm stuffy, man. I felt like my head was going to explode this morning.
Something's going around.
I blame my girlfriend for giving me whatever that was.
For kissing Ben?
So,
yeah, me too.
So Whitney, thanks a lot for giving both of us the plague.
Man.
We're going to get dirty looks when she listens to this.
Yeah, that one just brought out a world of hurt.
Yeah, it's okay.
I know. Sometimes I forget that people are going to listen.
Yeah, exactly.
And
it's not just our personal conversations.
You just can't talk like bros and just give each other a hard time because,
Mm-hmm.
The good thing is I don't think my wife listens, so.
No, you put the link up and then Whitney automatically listens, which it pumps me up that she wants to listen to me talk. But yeah, she's on it, man. She let me know last week that I was clicking my pen too much.
Just so everyone knows, I don't think Whitney kissed Ben and made him sick. That was just an easy joke. That was just me just taking in the opening.
Mm-hmm. I bet it was.
All right.
You do that well.
All right. Well, then Elise made Will sick. How's that? Are we good?
All right. Let's cross. That's good.
All right. So.
All right. First question.
First question is, I like this one. I think let's have all of us chime in on it. It is going to be, so this is a question from our little challenge group. We get the weekly questions from our members. It is, we don't have a name. These are actually, I don't see the names, just the questions. So it is going to be, how can I handle the temptations of being out with friends who are eating and drinking? What strategies can I use to make better choices? All right. So I think this a lot kind of depends too on where you're at, age-wise. So I know for me, when I was in my early mid-20s, you're going to be doing a lot more eating and drinking amongst friends with lots of alcohol and lots of pizza and stuff. So a strategy I would use then was either or, right? So if I knew that I'd rather just indulge in whatever food you would be indulging in, I would just not drink and volunteer to drive, or just I would get one drink and just hold it the whole time. And most people, if everyone around you is kind of getting drunk, they don't really notice.
I've personally been fooled by that one.
That's the Gary Deagle method, by the way.
That is
if anyone has heard me talk about it, like, it's a legit thing, and he can nurse a drink for like 6 hours.
If you
just
don't-
one.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to do it at bars and everything. I'd buy one beer and just hold it the entire time and
Dude, I've
fake
never
sip.
Every time you look at him, he's drinking.
Yeah,
But it's the same
exactly.
freaking cup.
Exactly. Like, are you even drinking, or is that an illusion? Like,
What?
are you just fake drinking?
Just kiss that cup.
Are you that good?
Well, I got Ben. You got in trouble out here. Remember when you visited? And
That's
you
what
know,
I'm referring to, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
that was
And I was like, dude,
cataclysmic.
He thought he
You
was
went-
keeping up.
you ended up on the floor, and I was like, the next day, Ben, like, why'd you drink so much? And you're like, well, you kept drinking. I was like, dude, I was holding the same drink the entire night. The vodka club.
Vodka.
I feel like
Just-
that could be a good challenge for anybody. The Gary Deagle drink challenge. If you go out with your friends, you try to hold on to the same drink the entire time and make it last.
There it is. And you still have fun. I mean, if you're one of
Oh,
those
yeah.
people, like, you have to, like, be drunk to have fun, then I think that's a whole different, like, game right there. So
Yeah,
you need to
that
figure
is.
out why
That's
that
one of the
is.
things to
That,
say
that probably
about
means
that.
you don't like the people you're with, or you don't like.
Yeah, they're dragging you out. Like,
Yeah. So that's one. And then, like, now in a more, like, normal environment, I think it just comes down to then, like, who are you hanging out with? Like, ultimately, if they're your friends, like, they're going to like, get it, like, they may give you a hard time, just like you hear we give each other a hard time, give you a little ribbon, but you just kind of laugh it off, chuckle it off, and then, like, do you ultimately, if they're real friends, it's like, just do what you want. Like, you're still out hanging out. Like, the whole point's to have fun with your friends, right? So not to, like, you're not going out to eat pizza and get drunk, or are you going out to hang out with your friends? So I think figuring out which one of those, and then just making a choice based on that, like, that's for me, like, an easy choice. So,
Yep.
And then, for example, the last thing before I let you guys chime in is, okay, like, how often do you do this? What's the situation, right? So for me, it's not an every weekend thing. If it was an every weekend thing, I definitely would only have one or two drinks. And then, for example, like, when maybe a holiday, or when I'm traveling or on vacation, I might really let loose for a weekend, but that's only a couple times a year, So, but if you're really letting loose and going hard, like, every weekend, you ultimately, like, that's just not gonna work. So, that's kind of some of the strategies I use, and thoughts on it. What about you guys?
So mine's simple. I mean, the take I have is this: like, if I, during the week, if I do everything that I know I need to do, I'm eating all my protein with every meal, getting my veggies in, just, like, being consistent really is what it is. That 85%, whatever you want to call it. Then, like, going out with friends, like, we don't go out every weekend or anything, so it might be, like, once a month or something like that. Like, you're going out with your friends, like, enjoy some good food, have a drink or two, like, and just have a good experience, And you touched on a good point. Like, if you're doing that every weekend, like, it's probably not a good thing to just eat and drink whatever you want. But if it's, like, an every once in a while thing, I think it's okay. Like, living life is all right. We're humans. We're not going to be perfect, and, like, life's meant to be enjoyed. So instead of, like, trying to be perfect 100% of the time, like, if you let loose once a month, like, you'll probably be a happier person. And you'll probably get better results because of it, Like, if you try to withhold too much, you're like, oh, I don't drink at all, I don't eat any crappy food at all, like, that's a lot of pressure to put on yourself, And it usually ends up with, like, bursting at the seams and eating, like, everything and binging for, like, 3 weeks, So just that outlet and just having fun with your friends and family and being able to celebrate things, I think is a good way to do it.
Yeah, and actually, from my perspective, I actually talked to somebody this morning about this exact thing, and I remember having somebody at Coastal who basically was forced because of their job. They go to events that were catered all the time, almost every night. So I actually understand that. Yeah, sometimes this isn't avoidable. Sometimes you would like to be social, so it's kind of not avoidable, and these people go out all the time. But the best defense for that is the problem with going out means that you're not going to have your meal at home. You can solve that problem by still prepping your meal and having it at home. Actually, before I go out to eat, usually I have my meal.
It's the Ben Wingle strategy.
I have a full meal, and I go out there, and all of a sudden the pre-nachos or whatever, they don't necessarily look that good. Well, I take that back. They look good, but you're not super, super hungry for them. It's not like you haven't eaten anything all day, and then suddenly you can kind of, make the willpower decision of, I guess I don't want those.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually attainable versus if I'm starving and there's nachos there, I'm eating the nachos.
Yep.
And then if I'm going out as well, I'm usually not going out for the food. I'll be honest. I like my food. I like what we cook, and so I probably just fill up on that. If I'm going out, I'll drink. So the Gary Deagle, if you have to choose, I would just say cook, like prepare, be prepared, cook, eat before, and then go out and drink, have a good time.
Mm-hmm. I tried that too. Like after you had said something to me about it, I did it. Like we were going, I don't know, out to eat with somebody, or it was like a family function or whatever, where I wasn't even sure what the food was going to be. And so I had like beef and rice. And then it was way easier going to something like that. And like, I'll just have like a little bit of whatever. And then like, I'm good. I was like satisfied, rather than like Ben was saying, you eat all of the nachos because you're freaking starving. You've already curbed that and kind of satisfied the brain. And then it's just like, I'll have a little of this, a little of that, and then I'm good. So I think it's a cool strategy.
Yep. And nowadays, Ben touched on this. Yeah, like I understand this is hard for people to conceptualize, but you will enjoy eating healthy foods, right? Like, it grows on you because when you get better energy, like your mood's better, like that ends up outweighing that really short-term satisfaction. For example, I love nachos. I would love to eat nachos. But it's a short-term thing. Like you eat it, you're like, this is delicious. I love it. You crush it, and then you're like, I'm stuffed. Like you're not even guilty for like eating them. You just physically feel bad, and then so like you do that enough, like over the weekends and years, like I have, like you eventually just enjoy your meals and how you feel after eating them. And then, like kind of like Ben said, then social events become, about the social event and the people you're with, and less about like, oh, this is my chance to eat an entire serving of nachos. So, but that takes time. Like that, like that takes time. So I think in general, kind of to wrap it up, the good strategies are, I think the main thing is just like remind yourself why you're going out, like why you're having fun. And it's not because of the eating and drinking. It's because you're hanging out with friends. And then ultimately, like if they're your friends, like they'll understand if you don't want to eat a pizza, or you just say, no, thanks, I already ate. And then you move along, and then you have a couple drinks. Or maybe you're like, hey, I'm just having a drink or two. And then you just, move along and have fun. So that's, that's what it boils down to.
Perfect.
All right. So the next question is going to be, like, this is a passionate subject. Like, people get it really defensive and offensive one way or the other. It's in regards to running. So the question is, what exercises can I do to build strength to start running again with minimal injury? With minimal injury. Now, I think, like, the question, we understand what it wants to get, but I think it's a little like most people are a little confused on the subject, right? So running, for one, I think is awesome. If you're able to do it, you can do it pain-free. So a lot of people get injured running, right? And then they think, oh, I'm just not a runner. So, but really the biggest factor is, when you're running, you're taking thousands and thousands of steps and all your weight's bearing down on it. And if you carry excess body fat, like you're just going to be at a higher risk of injury when it comes to running. Like think about it. Like if you did a 30-minute run versus a 30-minute bike ride, there's no impact. You're just cycling, circling along, right? Whereas running, like every single step is tons of force and impact. So say you're 30 pounds overweight, if you drop 10 pounds, like your injury risk is going to go down. If you're really lean, like that's going to be optimal. So really worrying about specific exercises, like, our bodies are kind of born to run. Like we're made to do it. It's really more we get in our own way via maybe being overweight or improper movement from sitting all the time. Like those are the things you want to address if you are very serious and want to be a runner and you want to run. And then real quick, I'll let you, especially Ben will want to chime in on this. The other thing with it is, why are you running? So are you running because you think you need to, because you feel like it'll help you lose weight? Or is it because you enjoy it? Is it for the sport of it? Like figuring that out is important as well. So what do you guys feel?
Definitely running for the person who is like movement ready for it. Their hips, their knees, their ankles are all able to like appropriately absorb that impact that you were talking about. That can be a great goal and a great like thing to progress on, thing that you can accomplish things, see, how fast you can run, the 5Ks or whatever. If you, asking yourself why you're running, I think is a really, really good question, because if you're running to get thin or you're running to get fit.
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out. If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop mixed in water once a day and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
You got to switch that mindset, because it is definitely a something to achieve, to be able to run. Making sure that you are moving correctly probably required a little bit of strength training, probably required some assessment, probably required some help, and then to get in a physical condition to be able to run, that's an accomplishment. So definitely, if you're somebody who hasn't done a lot for a long time, getting off the couch and then starting to run, there's definitely other avenues you're going to want to hit first to make sure that you're ready to run, and that's the right thing for you at that time. Just like Gary said, though, you are born to do it.
Yep.
But we go through life. We have trauma, we have big injuries, we have small injuries, we have jobs that keep us in positions that don't lend itself to our regular running mechanics. So we can definitely get pretty far away from center. So what I'd recommend in that way is that you make sure that you are in a good position to start before you judge whether or not it's right. It's right for you, I suppose.
Yep. Now, I'll touch on this. I'll hit another avenue of it, like purely on like, okay, well, if you are an optimal body composition, how do you get ready? Like first, like if you're thinking about going for like a 3-mile run, why don't you go walk 3 miles and see how you feel afterwards? Like if you walk 3 miles and you're like, damn, like my ankles and my knees hurt, like imagine how you're gonna feel running 3 miles. Like amplify that pain and that effect and the impact of that walk, and then do that first. Like get good at walking. A lot of people don't walk enough, and so you're going from like sitting on your couch like to like the running movement. Like there's got to be an in between, right? And then if you want to be prepped for running properly and things like that. I think talking about what we can do in the gym, a lot of single leg work lends itself to helping people with that. So like lunges, step ups, split squats, one leg RDLs, things like that will help because basically those force the hip to work properly. You have to have balanced hips, and it helps even things out. So I think that really lends itself, if you want to think like purely in the weight room, how do I prepare myself? Those are great because then you're working on that same kind of the same pathway of having that one leg in front, one leg behind, even though it's a little different than your running gait. I think that would be a good thing to work on for most people, and something that might get neglected by a lot of people. We do a lot of like regular squats and deadlifts, but the single leg stuff like isn't quite as sexy and fun as like a heavy barbell back squat. So maybe prioritizing that stuff and getting really good at it to see how it does affect your running.
Yep, agreed. And two other good prereqs that I believe, Will, you actually did a video on this for running and setting yourself up well, is being able to jump rope and like baby crawl, because both of those, the crawling is the coordination factor, like that you should be able to have when you run, the way you're when one leg lifts, opposite arm, and then jumping rope gives you the foot strike. The way your foot strikes the ground when you're skipping rope well is actually the way for most people how it should hit the ground when you're running. So that kind of helps prepare your calves and all that. So making sure you have the coordination to properly like do a crawl or like a bird dog type deal. And then also being able to skip rope is good little things to learn or make sure you can do as well.
Yeah. So I'm going to sum all of that up really, just so if someone's listening and they just listen to all that, they can kind of put the pieces together. One, like make sure you're working towards an optimal body composition. Two, ask yourself why you're running. Like if you just really enjoy it or it's something you just want to be able to do, awesome. It's not like you have to feel like you have to do it to lose weight. And then three, prioritize single leg work in the gym over, using both legs on your leg exercises.
Boom. Boom. Are you good with that, Ben?
That's good advice.
You don't have nothing else to add?
No, I mean that's beautiful. Yeah.
And
save a lot of heartache. You can listen to that advice. The people who are really like on the edge about that, take that stuff seriously, and you're gonna.
You guys aren't running or runners really, are you?
Never have been.
I do. I just for my dog. I would not personally. I don't necessarily enjoy it, but my dog needs something. So we run. I do go ahead and do the barefoot thing out there running. Running in shoes on cement. I don't know. I don't know if you could ever get me there.
Yeah. I'll go sprint. I love to sprint. Like the motion of running, I think is really important to be able to do as like a human being. Do I want to do it like long distance? Like, no, I don't really have an interest in that. But being able to do, like a 100-meter, 200-meter sprint, I think, I prioritize that and being able to do that and being fast and being very efficient at it. But yeah, outside of that, I'm just, I'm all right.
Yeah. I can't get into it either. Back earlier in, I guess, the early part of the year, I went through a program just to kind of do it. And the winter, the frigid 60.
Sunshine was out there a little less time. I don't know.
The one season that is. So like I did it, and it's just like I just couldn't get into it. Like I just get bored, and But I do like, kind of like Will said, like I like going and running sprints every now and then and skipping rope, kind of keeping maybe some like little intervals on the track or turf, so my body is physically like in shape to run. For example, 2 Saturdays ago, I actually went and just ran 3 miles just because I was like, well, I'll just go do it. And, it was fine. But, there's nothing I can't get from it that I can't get from other stuff. Like I can just ride the bike. I can go for a hike and get some cardio. Okay. And then, my training I enjoy. So it's just doesn't really, again, like I think that's where most people mess up is they like think they have to do it when really like if you hate it, like don't force yourself to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of you've been saying that for years, Gary, about people who want to run and how, okay, I'm training for this long distance run, I need to run a bunch to train for it. And what running does, with the impact, can make it actually really, really harmful to just run, even to train to run. Like you just go out and run 3 miles. I've been doing some cardio, and I had to run back to my hotel from the class, and it ended up being about 1.5 miles. And I mean, yeah, I didn't have to train for it per se. Maybe a little shin splinty around the ankle joint at worst. But just staying in good shape. Making sure that you're pushing yourself to your limit, but not necessarily having to do that in a impact on cement way. And you still are capable of doing that when you want to or need to, in my case.
Yep. And a big part of that, which we've always stressed, is like, being an ideal body composition. Like I'm lean, right? So I can go and run, if not doing it for 4 years, run a 5K and get a decent time. Whereas there's people who run all the time every day and get a slower time. And it's really just because they have to maybe some more weight to carry around. So most people, if they want faster times, again, like get lean first and then work on running and volume and all that. But yeah, so it's just, again, one of those subjects, like we're not, some people will bash it and say like you never need to do it. If you enjoy it, do it, but just like really think long term and set yourself up for success. So
yeah, that long distance stuff is, unbelievable. I can
the ultra and everything.
Who are going for some of those big long runs. I know they're listening too. Like, what you do is incredible.
Yeah, it's like any sport, like it's a feat, it's impressive. So, actually one weekend a buddy was in town and they had a marathon going on. And the finish line was kind of near where I'm at, so we went and hung out there. And dude, it was amazing. Like the lead pack came in, like these 4 guys, and dude, they're running a marathon at like a sprint pace, like 6 minutes a mile. It was just so mind-blowingly impressive, insane to see.
Yeah, y'all got motors. Like it's awesome.
It's crazy,
it's
man.
Awesome.
Cool. So then let's do a nutrition question here. Kind of wrap it up. This is one like every trainer probably gets in some way or form. It is basically it's asking like, what's the deal with carrots? Like, are they okay to eat? Like, are they a vegetable? So again, like carrots come from the ground. They're a vegetable. What happens is there'll be some, clickbait article about how don't eat carrots because they're more sugary than other vegetables, which maybe is true a little bit, but again, like it's a carrot, like it's full of vitamin A, it has fiber, it's more starchy or carby than broccoli, but it's a carrot. It's not a Twinkie. It's not soda, So what will happen is people get in their head like someone said don't eat carrots, and then they'll literally not eat carrots, but then they won't hesitate about grabbing a handful of fun-sized Snickers or something, So, like, kind of step away from the food bashing of individual foods and, like, just, like, be sensible. Like, you're not going to overeat carrots. Like, it's impossible. You can eat a whole little bag of baby carrots. It's going to take you an hour. And,
it's not going to be very enjoyable either.
Exactly.
Not for
like
people around you either.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear you crunching that.
Yeah, that's another good rule. Like, do you get excited about eating carrots? No. Then they're probably healthy for you. Like that's a pretty good rule of thumb with any food. So, don't let anyone think that carrots are are going to be bad for you or
Yeah,
on some no list.
Dude, that just boils, like, we can use it for any vegetable though. You know, like carrots might be like, for a serving, it might be like, I don't know, we're gonna ballpark this, 6 grams of carbs. I don't even know if that's right. And then broccoli might be 3. Yeah, like it's double the amount of carbs, but it's literally the difference between 3 and 6. You know, like it's not even, it's like negligible. You know, unless you're dieting down for a freaking bodybuilding competition, like that doesn't matter. You know, you're getting fiber, you're getting vitamins and minerals. Like, just focus on that and be okay with it. Eat your freaking carrots. Like, really eat any vegetable. Eat all the vegetables you can. I guarantee you're gonna feel good.
Yeah, it says carrots here are 6 grams of carbs, and open up your freezer looking at your Breyers ice cream is 10.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait a second. Your Breyers is only 10? Or did
No,
you
just
make-
looking at it. Just looking at it.
Oh, I
Just
see.
yeah.
Like,
I was
eating
like,
a carrot is better, like, carb-wise for you than staring at your ice cream in
Yeah,
your freezer.
exactly. I was like, hold on, what ice cream are you eating?
Just, yeah. Real cheap humor.
But
I
yeah,
thought you
there.
got offended by the Breyers.
But yeah.
I thought you.
not
yeah,
turkey
I thought
Hill
you were
or
about to
something?
like step up on your soapbox,
like
educate him on Ben and Jerry's.
the see now you got ice cream. Thoughts of ice cream frolicking through my head.
Go ahead, man. Let it
Like,
out.
Ice cream is like the only sweet treat I could go the rest of my life and just not eat.
And not
I
eat?
really don't have any days where I'm like,
You gotta have ice
damn,
cream.
like I could really use like a pint of ice cream. Like it never crosses my mind.
It's
I
the
never-
cold. It's the cold. It's the texture thing for me. I enjoy like the texture
Cold and
of
creamy?
the cold and creamy. Cold and creamy.
See, like I would rather have like a donut, like one donut than a whole
sounds
pint of
good.
ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather, you know what I would rather have, and I'm being dead serious. I'm not trying to be funny. I would rather have like donut infused ice cream. you know how like they have crazy ice cream flavors. Like I would rather have like Krispy Kreme donut ice cream.
Ooh, just sounds dangerous.
Sounds good.
You know, like that's in like like
Took it to a different level, man.
like I love pancakes and waffles, but I've had like pancake and waffle ice cream, and that was
And that's all you can think about now.
and that is like, I mean, that's preferred.
you can have like
that is
a
awesome.
pint of that and some bacon, and you're good to
Never
go.
had that.
Yeah.
Like
No,
that's brunch, baby.
No, but then another step. Like then I would rather have like the bacon bits and the ice cream. So like bacon
I
bit.
feel like you've had that before.
I feel like what we're boiling this down to is you like to eat everything out of a bowl mixed together.
You haven't
in ice
tried
cream
it until
form.
you've tried it in a bowl of ice cream.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it to another level. You gonna put eggs in there? Or is that
No,
crossing
no,
the
no.
line?
So not protein and ice cream? No?
I've made like and eaten
What?
like protein ice cream. Yeah, I would do. I mean, yeah.
No, I mean like just adding different proteins, like your, I don't know, maybe your chicken or your.
Ew,
Oh,
man,
meat
get
protein.
out.
No,
Ew,
no.
putting
okay.
meat in ice cream?
No.
Went across the line. Well, you put bacon in ice cream.
No, but bacon's different.
than regular
yeah.
meat.
Is it all ham? No, that's bad.
That's,
No,
yeah,
it's
bacon's like its own thing.
Well,
because
bacon's
it's so
cured in
crispy.
sugar, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. But if you just put like
Ham, you could like get a glaze. What is it? Honey
glazed
something?
ham,
And then ice cream.
it still would have a weird flavor. I
Nah,
don't know.
that's see right
Like,
there.
I love ground beef, but I don't want that in my ice cream ever.
Yeah. There's a
just-
line.
Oh,
There's
no,
a line.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
There's a line.
bacon.
But
is
I wanted to find it.
I appreciate you
ventured
for
off.
pushing into that. No, and that's a good question because I'll go to an ice cream place that does have these like wacky, crazy, savory flavors, and yeah, those are unappealing. So there is a limit.
You know what surprised me that I actually liked? The first time I had pistachio ice cream,
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be gross. Like it's like a weird like pea soup type color, and I was like, this is gonna suck. But it was actually really good. And then like occasionally I'll see like a savory flavor that looks like it could be good like that, and it kind of like piques my interest. But I don't know. I've seen some, especially like when I was out in Cali with you at the ice cream shop we went to, and
Yeah.
it's like avocado ice cream. And something else like steak dinner or something, I don't know, but it was just something completely unappealing that didn't belong in ice cream.
Yeah.
I'll stick with root beer floats.
Ooh,
The old root beer floats.
dude, we got those when we went to Brown Chicken Brown Cow.
How were they?
Those are good.
But did you eat it on the curb like we did, like three? And
Nah, that
after
was
a
the
bike ride?
best.
No.
That was maybe the best thing. Was
We
just
were-
sitting down with that float.
It was like being 12 years old.
I was
It
gonna
was.
say, man. Yep.
Just park the bikes, get
That's
your
a-
float on the
that's a flashback
on the
right there.
curb.
Like we feel
man.
bad. Like we feel like badass because we're getting because beer is in it, root beer
Yep.
float. You know?
Root beer. Yeah.
That's another. Hey, that goes back to strategy number 1. You know, maybe you can just order root beer with your friends. Mm-hmm. Well, no, that's probably worse.
That's actually more calories than
I
beer,
know,
isn't
all
it?
the sugar. Yeah.
Once I start with root beer, I can't stop, man.
Scratch that.
Like I'm good on one root beer. That's another thing I can't have a lot of. I don't know why.
Remember those little root beer candies that your grandma would have?
Oh.
The A&Ws? I like those.
Those
root
were
beer
gross.
candies? What do you mean, the gummies?
They were actually really gross, but I definitely.
What are we talking here? Is it hard candy?
No, the
It
hard
was
ones.
like a
I'm
little
talking about the hard
barrel.
ones.
It's
Yeah,
like
the
a
little
little
barrel.
barrel.
Yeah, little hard barrel.
I don't remember.
Do they still
I
sell
remember
those?
the little strawberries.
Yeah,
Those are my
same
jam.
category. Yeah,
Okay,
same
okay.
category.
Had a little bit of,
Yeah.
I don't know, soft stuff in the middle.
Something in there. Like
Those
what?
are good, though.
What could that have been though?
Oh, just
You never had? I mean, have you had anything like that? since?
strawberry
I don't know.
goodness.
At what point do
Very
you
good.
at what point in grandparentness do you start purchasing those and having bowls of them in your house?
I think it's when you have grandkids. You know, like I feel like that's the.
But what if you're a young grandma? What if you're a 40-year-old grandma? Is that
Still gotta do it.
you still got to do it?
Yeah. You gotta have treats for the kids.
Okay. Well, I think we should just close it on that. I mean, that right
Yeah.
there, people can think about that. If you have an opinion, we'd love to hear
Yeah.
what your opinion
shoot
is
it at us.
on the hard candies. And yeah, we'll wrap it up. Brought Fit for Life, as always, brought to you by Coastal Strength and Fitness, and as well, Ben and Elise's movement practice. You want to plug that real quick?
Yeah, momentum movement therapy. We can assess for running. Just bring
Yeah.
that up from before. But yeah, we do stuff like that.
There we go. And then we'll close it out. Hopefully we'll have a couple more guests coming up for you in the weeks. We had a great time with Kim, and we had a lot of great feedback from people who got a lot out of that, so that was fun.
You want the song of the week?
Oh yeah, so Ben, I went and listened to what's your boy's name?
Post Malone.
Post Malone. It was Congratulations, right?
Yeah, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I've heard that song now 40 million times, but I just never actually listened to it.
Yeah.
You know how you hear a song but you don't actually listen?
Oh yeah.
Or you don't know who sings it.
Yeah.
That happens to me all the time. I'm like, oh god, they sung that song.
So it was good. I'm
That was cute.
a sucker for kind of pop music and generic stuff.
It is very
Aren't we all?
mainstream almost, but that one makes you feel good, definitely.
So what you
this
got?
one's for the sheeple. It's When in Rome by Nickel Creek.
Ooh.
It's definitely polar opposite.
Whoa.
But When in Rome, Nickel Creek.
Nickel Creek. Now,
Creek, huh?
Get you thinking. I like it.
okay.
Alright.
Now I feel like once you start getting the little hard candies, that's when you start listening to Nickel Creek.
It definitely takes you there. Takes you there.
I'm gonna go get some little butterscotches and throw on the Nickel Creek and let's go.
Yep, throw on When in Rome, man. Just see where it takes you. That's what. Ride the wave.
All right. Well, we'll catch all you guys here next week.
All right.
All right.
See you later, brothers.